Stop training your chest wrong. 5 silly mistakes that are killing your gains and the only 6 exercises you need. If you clicked here, you have probably already felt the frustration of training your chest and leaving the gym feeling your triceps and shoulders more than the muscle you actually wanted to develop. Stay with us until the end, because in addition to the mistakes preventing your chest from growing, you will also see the right exercises and how to organize them throughout the week in the most efficient way possible. After this video, your chest will only fail to grow if you truly do not want it to. That is why today you will see the 5 mistakes that are sabotaging your chest, the 6 exercises you need to include in your training, and the ideal weekly split to put everything into practice. Before we begin, please tell us in the comments your name and the city where you are watching our content. We would love to know. Let us start with the mistakes, and you can bet that at least one of them is present in your training right now. Mistake number 1, inadequate training volume for the chest. Training volume is one of the most decisive factors for hypertrophy, and getting this wrong comes at a high cost to chest development. Those who train with too few sets, such as 4 or 5 per week, simply do not provide the muscle with a consistent enough stimulus to grow. The signal is too weak to generate the necessary adaptation. On the opposite extreme, piling up 25 sets or more in just a few days overloads the nervous system, compromises recovery, and opens the door to overtraining. The balance point varies according to training level. Beginners respond well to around 10 sets per week, since the body is still sensitive to smaller stimuli. Intermediate trainees can work between 12 and 16 sets, while advanced athletes can handle up to 18 or 20, as long as they are well distributed. Mistake number 2, using the triceps and deltoid more than the chest. Finishing a chest workout feeling your triceps and anterior deltoid more than the muscle you actually wanted to work is one of the most common frustrations in weightlifting. The main culprit is usually the elbow angle. When the arms are kept too close to the torso, the triceps takes on the leading role in the movement. When the elbows flare out too much, the deltoids come into play and the shoulders become overloaded. The ideal position is to keep them at around 45 degrees relative to the body. In machine exercises such as the cable crossover or the pec deck, pressing slightly with the area of the palm near the pinky finger helps reduce triceps recruitment and intensify the mind-muscle connection with the chest. It seems like a small detail, but it makes a considerable difference in how the movement feels. With very heavy loads, the body naturally looks for muscular shortcuts. Reducing the weight and prioritizing the sensation of contraction in the chest is always the most honest strategy for those who want true hypertrophy. Mistake number 3, reduced range of motion. Sacrificing range of motion to lift more weight is one of the most common and most costly mistakes in chest training. When the descent in the bench press is cut short, or the cable fly does not reach the point of true stretch, the muscle simply does not go through its full functional range. And it is precisely within that range that most of the microtears responsible for growth occur. The stretch under tension, especially in the eccentric phase, is one of the most powerful triggers for hypertrophy, and by shortening the movement, you voluntarily give up that stimulus. Can you imagine how much progress you are leaving on the table with every workout because of this? In addition to the loss of results, reduced range of motion places the joints in unfavorable positions, increasing the risk of injury to the shoulder, elbow, and wrist. The right load is the one that allows full control, from the point of greatest stretch to the point of maximum contraction without any compensation. Mistake number 4, training chest only once a week. Training the chest only once a week may seem sufficient, but in practice, it means leaving the muscle idle for much longer than necessary. After an intense workout, the chest takes between 48 and 72 hours to recover, and from that point on, it is ready for a new stimulus. When the next session only happens 7 days later, you completely ignore that window, which is exactly the period when the muscle is most receptive to growth. Furthermore, concentrating all weekly volume into a single day generates accumulated fatigue. The first exercises are performed with quality, but the last ones already suffer from tiredness, compromising the intensity and the efficiency of the entire workout. Splitting the same volume into 2 weekly sessions solves both problems. The stimulus window is taken advantage of more than once, and each session begins with a fresher muscle, allowing for higher execution quality from start to finish. Mistake number 5. Wrong exercise selection, leading to an incomplete workout. The chest is not a homogeneous structure. It is composed of muscle fiber bundles with distinct orientations, divided into 3 main portions: the upper or clavicular portion, the middle or sternocostal portion, and the lower portion. Each of them responds differently depending on the angle of movement. The upper fibers are more recruited in incline movements. The middle fibers, with a horizontal orientation, respond better to the flat bench press and the crossover at a right angle. And the lower fibers are more activated in decline exercises and in dips with the torso leaning forward. Building a workout composed only of flat exercises means stimulating predominantly the middle fibers while leaving the upper and lower portions underdeveloped, creating visible aesthetic gaps in the physique. A truly complete workout needs to include angle variations that respect the orientation of each fiber bundle, ensuring balanced development with no blind spots. Now that you know the 5 mistakes that are holding your chest back, let us get to what really matters. The 6 exercises that will transform your training. Exercise number 1, low cable crossover. We will begin the workout with the low cable crossover, and there is a very clear tactical reason for this choice. The vast majority of people have the upper chest as the weakest and least developed portion of the muscle. You know that area just below the collarbone that always seems less full than the rest of the chest? That is exactly what we are going to target first, when the central nervous system is still at full capacity and the muscles have not accumulated any degree of fatigue. Choosing an isolation exercise at the very beginning is also a smart strategy to direct maximum tension to the upper chest without significant interference from the triceps or deltoids, which would inevitably happen if we started with a compound exercise. To perform it correctly, position the pulleys as low as possible and stand slightly leaning forward with your core braced and your feet shoulder width apart for stability. Pull the cables diagonally upward, crossing your hands at face height at the end of the movement, and hold the contraction for 1 second before opening slowly and in a controlled manner. Avoid locking your elbows into full extension, always maintaining a slight bend throughout the entire arc of the movement. The main mistakes to avoid are pulling with the shoulder instead of the chest, which transfers the work to the anterior deltoid, and using excessive weight, which compromises the range of motion and eliminates contraction at the end point of the movement. Regarding contraindications, people with rotator cuff injuries, shoulder instability, or chronic elbow pain should consult a professional before including this exercise in their routine, or at least reduce the range of motion to a comfortable level. Exercise number 2, incline dumbbell bench press. The incline dumbbell bench press is one of the most important exercises for developing the upper chest and arrives as the second movement of the workout with a very clear objective: to continue the work on the clavicular portion, now with a compound overload that allows for more consistent progressions over the weeks. After the pre-exhaustion generated by the crossover, the upper chest is already activated and more receptive to the stimulus, which makes this movement even more efficient at this point. The bench angle, ideally between 30 and 45 degrees, is crucial for the success of the exercise. Below that, the work tends to shift toward the middle chest, and above that, the anterior deltoid begins to receive excessive overload that compromises the shoulders. To perform it correctly, position the dumbbells at chest height with the elbows at approximately 45 degrees from the torso. Press in a controlled manner until almost full arm extension and lower slowly, feeling the stretch in the upper fibers. The main mistakes to avoid are letting the elbows flare out too much during the descent, which transfers stress to the shoulders, and dropping the dumbbells quickly during the eccentric phase, wasting the portion of the movement with the greatest hypertrophy potential. Perform 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, progressively increasing the load each week. Contraindications include pain or instability in the shoulders and wrists, conditions in which the exercise can be replaced by the incline machine press with a guided movement. Before we continue, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Having constant access to science-based information is what will help you progress with health over the long term in the world of exercise. Exercise number 3, Flat Smith Machine Bench Press. The Flat Smith Machine Bench Press enters the workout as the main loading exercise for the middle chest portion. And the choice of the Smith machine over the free barbell in this context is intentional and well-grounded. The guided movement reduces the stabilization demand and allows working with loads close to muscular failure with less risk of accident, especially when training alone or already carrying some accumulated fatigue from the previous exercises. Studies comparing both methods indicate that although the free barbell recruits more stabilizer musculature, the Smith machine allows greater focus on applying force to the chest, which is exactly what is sought at this point in the session. The middle fibers with a horizontal orientation are the main beneficiaries at this flat angle, and it is this portion that gives the muscle its appearance of volume and density in the central region of the chest. To perform it correctly, position the bench so that the bar descends in line with the nipple line. Keep your feet firmly on the floor, your shoulder blades retracted, and lower the bar in a controlled manner until it lightly touches the chest before pressing back up. Avoid bouncing the bar off the chest, as this removes tension from the muscle and overloads the joints unnecessarily. The main mistakes to avoid are a fast and uncontrolled descent, bouncing the bar off the chest, and incorrect bench positioning, which causes the bar to descend over the shoulders instead of the central chest area. You will know you are doing it right when you feel a clear tension in the central chest region, both on the way down and on the way up, without any shoulder pain. Perform 3 sets of 6 to 10 repetitions with a challenging load and impeccable technique. People with a history of shoulder or rotator cuff injuries should pay special attention to scapular retraction throughout the entire movement. Exercise number 4, High Cable Crossover. The high cable crossover is the isolation exercise focused primarily on the lower and middle chest, and its placement at this point in the workout is completely strategic. With the compound exercises already completed, the goal now is to refine the contraction and maintain constant tension on the lower fibers without further stressing the joints with heavy loads. And do you know why this is achieved so efficiently with cables? One of the great advantages of this equipment over free weights is the constant resistance throughout the entire arc of movement. While dumbbells and barbells lose tension at certain points, the cable keeps the muscle under work from start to finish, which is especially valuable at this stage of the workout. To perform it correctly, position yourself in the center of the pulleys with a slight forward lean of the torso. Pull with slightly bent elbows, crossing your hands below the belly button line, and hold the contraction for 1 second before opening slowly and in a controlled manner. The main mistakes to avoid are using the shoulders to pull, which shifts the work from the chest to the deltoid, and letting the elbows open too abruptly during the eccentric phase, losing control over the tension. The secret is to feel the chest being actively stretched as it opens, never letting the cable pull the arms back without muscular resistance. Perform 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions with total focus on the quality of the contraction. Contraindications include acute shoulder pain or joint instability in that region, conditions that can be aggravated by the range of motion, and that require professional evaluation before proceeding. Exercise number 5, Decline Bench Press. The decline bench press is an exercise that is frequently underestimated in chest workouts, and that is a mistake that comes at a high aesthetic cost. Electromyography muscle activation research consistently shows that it is among the movements that produce the highest recruitment of the lower fibers, even surpassing the flat bench press in that specific portion of the muscle. This happens because the decline angle, generally between 15 and 30 degrees below horizontal, aligns the direction of the effort with the orientation of the lower sternocostal fibers, which run from top to bottom and from outside to inside. Developing this portion well is essential for giving the chest an appearance of volume and definition in the lower area, completing the aesthetic rounding of the muscle. To perform it correctly, secure your feet firmly in the support, keep your shoulder blades retracted, and lower the bar in a controlled manner to the lower portion of the chest before pressing back up. Avoid fully locking out the elbows at the top of the movement in order to maintain tension on the muscle throughout the entire set. The main mistakes to avoid are letting the elbows flare out too much, which transfers the work to the shoulders and lowering the bar over the sternum instead of the lower chest. Since this is a position where many people can use heavier loads than on the flat bench press, ego tends to speak louder. Perform 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. Regarding contraindications, people with elevated intracranial pressure, glaucoma, or gastroesophageal reflux should avoid decline positions, and those with a history of shoulder injury should exercise special caution with the depth of the descent. Exercise number 6, machine chest fly. The machine chest fly closes out the workout as a finishing exercise of the highest quality, and there is no better choice for this role. At this point in the session, the chest has already been subjected to significant overload from the previous exercises, and the machine offers exactly what is needed now: continuous tension, guided movement, and the ability to reach muscular failure with complete safety without any risk of dropping weight or compromising the joints. The constant resistance throughout the entire arc of movement is a significant advantage, as the muscle remains under work both at the point of greatest opening and at the point of maximum contraction, maximizing the hypertrophy stimulus even with the chest already fatigued. To perform it correctly, adjust the support so that the elbows are slightly below shoulder height. Maintain a slight bend in the elbows throughout the entire movement and focus on squeezing with the chest rather than simply pushing with the arms. An effective trick in this exercise is to press slightly with the area of the palm near the pinky finger, which helps reduce triceps recruitment and intensifies the mind-muscle connection with the chest. The main mistakes to avoid are opening the elbows too much during the eccentric phase, overloading the shoulder joint, and using excessive speed, which eliminates tension at the point of maximum stretch. Finish with 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions, going to muscular failure on the last set. Contraindications include rotator cuff injuries and chronic shoulder pain, conditions in which the movement can be replaced by the dumbbell fly with a reduced range of motion. With the exercises defined, only the last piece of the puzzle remains: how to organize everything throughout the week in the smartest way possible. How to split the workouts throughout the week. The most efficient way to organize these 6 exercises is by dividing them into 2 weekly sessions, with at least 2 rest days between them. You can work with combinations such as Monday and Thursday, Tuesday and Friday, or Wednesday and Saturday. What matters is consistency and an adequate interval, so that the muscle recovers between sessions without staying idle for too long. The recommended distribution is 3 exercises per day. In the first session, start with the low cable crossover, follow with the incline dumbbell bench press, and finish with the flat Smith machine bench press. In the second session, begin with the high cable crossover, continue with the decline bench press, and close with the machine chest fly. But there is a fundamental point about personalization that needs to be said. No one has a perfectly balanced chest in all portions, and the training split should reflect your individual reality. If your upper chest is clearly your weakest point, it makes complete sense to reinforce the first session with 2 exercises for that region, and reduce to 1 in the second. The opposite also applies. Those who already have the lower portion well developed can replace the decline bench press with a second upper chest variation for a period. If you enjoyed this and want to also discover the main reasons why your legs are not growing, and the only exercises you need to fix that, we left a video appearing on the screen right now, showing each one of them in more detail. Be sure to check it out. Thank you for watching until the end. And may God bless you, my friend.